Okay, this video is going to be about putting this sink here up there. It was special order, so it's a specific size. And David had to prepare the opening over there, and there's a few special things that he has to do in order to get this kind of sink over there, right?
So yes, so what we're going to be doing is putting a 32-inch sink into a 33-inch sink base. So let me give you some background. The 33 or 32-inch sink, the manufacturer says the minimum base size is 36 inches. You need 36 inches so you have room to get to the clips. There's clips on the sides that after you put the sink in that catch underneath the cabinet, and you tighten the screw to tighten the sink down. So why am I trying to do this? Well, in this kitchen, I wanted a Lazy Susan in the corner. The Lazy Susan, that takes up 3 more inches than just a blind cabinet. I had my sink, I had the dishwasher, and I had the range. I really didn't want to change the size of these are standard sizes. If I put a 36-inch sink in here, then we're going to be 3 inches out here, we're into the doorway. I could have reframed that doorway, pulled the drywall. If I had all the drywall off, I would have just moved the doorway over a little bit. You can see over here, I have a little bit of room that I could have moved the door 3 inches. I had no reason to get into that. I didn't want to get into that. So I want to keep this, I want to keep this, and I want the Lazy Susan. The only thing that'll fit here is a 33-inch sink. Standard sinks come in 33-inch width. 33 would not fit inside of here. I ordered this sink, which is a 32-inch sink, and it just barely fits, but there's no way to get to the clips. I'll show you that in a minute. I'll show you how you can mount a 32 or a 33-inch sink into a 33-inch cabinet, even though the manufacturer says you must have a 36. And that's what we're going to do today.
The clips.
Yep, so these clips mount into the sink. This part here clips into a bracket in the sink, and it sits right in here, and then you get a screwdriver and you turn this screw and it pulls this clamp right up tight against the bottom of the cabinet. But with that sink sitting in there, you've got no room to get a screwdriver and to even see or find that screw. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this clip apart, and I've got some threaded rod, and that threaded rod will go right, it's a number 832. You could take a tap and die and tap that hole, but since it's a nylon piece it's going into, that machine thread, the 832 machine thread will thread right in there. Okay, you just gotta get it most of the way in. Then this is going to clip up into the sink. When you set your sink down, I've already mounted an angle on here. Could be just short little clips, but I just had this long piece. And when this mounts the angle, it's going to sit right here. And then you get your 832 nut. And we'll put the nut on here. And then as your sink's in there and you tighten that nut down, it's going to pull the sink right down to the countertop the same way that the clips do. And here, this is below the bottom of the sink, so you can get at these real easy. You can't get at these screws. Now in the front and in the back, we'll just use the normal clips because there's room to get your screwdriver up there. It's tight. You have to lay on your back inside there and reach up, but you can get them. But with this, there's no way, and that's why they say you can't put it in there, because there's no room for it. You can solve that by mounting it instead of under the countertop. You're going to mount it down to the sink base using this angle, a threaded rod, and the original clip that mounts into the sink. So with that, we'll go ahead and get it ready to mount.
So this didn't come with the installation for the sink. You made this.
Yes.
So that's how it looks.
We're going to prepare a sink. We got the faucet installed, and it's an easy one to install from the bottom, but it's a lot easier to install that from the top. This sink has these water lines that go in, and we're going to install the hot and the cold. It'll be easy to make the connection here to our water supply. So we'll get these.
So these are the back clips you were talking about.
These are the back clips that
and
are
those
installed.
are the ones that you can reach the screw, but you couldn't reach these on this end. So you made this.
So I made the threaded rods
that.
go on the end, and then there's 3 across the front. Sometimes you want to put the drain assembly in ahead of time where it's easy to get at. In this case, I'm not going to, because I'm going to want to use that drain as my handhold to hold it.
Oh.
I've already dry fit this. It's all ready to go. I know it's going to fit. So now I'm going to have to apply my caulk around the edges of the sink.
So the caulk is on.
I'm going to put the caulk on. Get this in here without making a mess. The tricky part's going to be getting those threaded rods in there.
Oh.
And then into the correct holes. Those going in the hole? Not the little hole, the big hole.
Yeah, the big one, yeah.
You got a little caulk
And that's where we put the threads in on both sides. The nuts on those long threads you made?
Yeah. It's just not a lot of room.
There. I got it.
Tighten that enough for the clamp to engage the bottom of the cabinet, and then I'll put that all in, come back and tighten them all up a little bit at a time. But there's no way I would have got a screwdriver up in here
Right.
to get that.
Oh yeah, there's no room. You wouldn't have been able to go way up in there. Isn't it beautiful? You can't put your pans in a sink that's divided in half because you only have a small area. So this way you can fit all your big dishes and pots and pans in here to wash them, because there is a dishwasher and most people use dishwashers. So we decided to put this in. It is a Akdy sink. And we had to have it special ordered with special measurements to fit in this kitchen. It has a sprayer. You can pull it down and you can spray all over. The sprayer hasn't been weighted down yet. Oh, actually, it can come down here, or you can put it up here. We'll do this and show you. This right here, you unscrew it here, and then you can widen it and make it wider and set it up higher if you wanted to do it that way. So you can set it up higher or push it in and set it down lower. And then make sure you screw this screw over here to lock it so it won't slip out. That is so cool. I like that. Comes with a cutting board that fits right in there like that. So, but that's the new sink. This is the switch for the light that David put in for up above. So you'll have a light over the sink.